If you follow the women's competitive game, you know the name Asterisk Talley. It means little star in Greek, and she is becoming a big star in the game at just 15 years old. She came to prominence with a victory at the U.S. Women's Fourball with her partner Sarah Lim. She tied for 8th at the Augusta National Women's Amateur, and then she qualified for the U.S. Women's Open and finished tied for 44 after being in contention over the weekend. But if you didn't know her by then, you probably saw her as runner-up at the U.S. Junior and the U.S. Women's Amateur to the same person, Rianne Malixi. And as heartbreaking as that might have been, the second match was much closer at 3-2. She went on to go to the Curtis Cup as the youngest player representing Team USA and went 2-1-1. And if you wondered if she could win the big match, well, she defeated world number 1 Lottie Woad in singles on Sunday as USA lost the team competition by just a single point. With the opportunity to represent USA once again in the Junior Solheim Cup, Garrett Johnson, AmateurGolf.com correspondent, caught up with her there to talk about juggling golf and school and whether she might bypass college altogether.
All right, Garrett Johnson here with Asterisk Talley, and man, you have been on a whirlwind. This has been crazy these last few weeks. How have you managed everything?
Yeah, I just got some rest when I got home on Monday last week. Yeah, I got a good practice in at the Curtis Cup. I feel like that was good preparation, and then I just rested for a couple of days, and then I came here.
Well, speaking of the Curtis Cup, I mean, beating the world number 1 there, going out first in singles, how did that feel? What were the emotions like for you?
I was really excited going into singles. You know, some people were against me, some people were for me. There were a lot of GB&I fans out there. It was really fun just to get the crowd going, you know, against Lottie, and it was a lot of fun. I feel like we both had a lot of fun in that match. It was really exciting.
How do you channel the crowd, like when a lot of them are against you? Like what kinds of things work for you?
You know, I feel like that motivates me a little bit to play better. I feel like when they're all rooting against you and then you hit a really good shot and then they kind of have to, you know, cheer for you. It's really funny.
Yeah, give them no choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's interesting match play. I think about the mental side of it for you. Like, obviously, self-talk is so important for all of us in golf. But like, what kinds of things do you tell yourself in a match to keep you upbeat and really positive?
Yeah, I feel like it's never over, especially in matches where you don't have to go to extra holes. I feel like, and you're playing for points, and I feel like it's always worth the half point, you know, when you're down 2 going into the last 2, you know, you really have to work for the half point. You really have to work for every point you can get. You mean every half point matters, so, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously being 15, managing a lot, you got school, you've got a life at home. Like, how do you manage everything if it's possible to balance everything?
Yeah, I'm really behind right now, actually.
How so? Just with school and all the schoolwork?
With school, I'm like super behind. I need to do some work this week, but I feel like I'll just put that aside until it's really necessary. I feel like this is most important at the moment, and then I'll just kind of work on it later.
Do you have any mentors that have helped you really recently with your game and just overall just with what you're pursuing?
I feel like my coach has really helped me, and I feel like my family has been really supportive throughout this whole summer, you know, with how much I've been traveling and playing golf. They've all been really supportive of my game, and they've really helped me out.
How has coach helped you in general, like just mental stuff or just balancing things? Or
Yeah, just with my game, and he caddied for me in the women's am, and that was really fun. I feel like we had a good time out there. He's helped me with my game. He's helped me with the mental side of it, you know, just don't put yourself out of it, and then you really got to work for it.
Well, as we look ahead, I mean, you're 15, but thinking about college in general, like how is that process? How do you kind of view the possibilities with college right now?
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking about it right now. You know, I might go to college, I might not, but I mean, I feel like it's a big possibility to go to college. You know, I've been thinking about it, but I feel like after everything kind of settles down, I'll really look more into it and then think about it a little more.
What would be the advantage of not going to college in general?
I feel like just getting out earlier into the pro stuff, the tour, I feel like it's an advantage to get out there a little early, you know, get the feel for it, get to play with big names early, and, you know, just get the experience.
Well, look at your bag now. Junior Solheim Cup is where we're at here in Arlington, Virginia. But what's in your bag at the moment, and what does that look like?
You know, I'm using like TaylorMade, pretty much everything TaylorMade, and then I just feel like Yeah, that's about it. Just everything's tailor-made. You know, they've really helped me. Everything in my bag really suits my game right now. I'm really happy with where they are.
How many wedges and what wedges are you using, like in terms of numbers?
I use a 60, 56, and a 50. And then I use irons up to 4, pitching wedge to 4. And then I use 3 hybrid, 3 wood, and driver.
What is it about the bag? When you look at it right now, is there a sentimental club that's in there? Is there one that's been in there longer than the others?
My spider that I'm using this week, I actually change putters like a lot. I change
Like how often?
almost every week. Like it's not every week, but I feel like just when, you know, I want to like feel something different or have a little change, I switch. But that putter is like really old. Like I get a lot of crap for it. They're like, that putter's probably older than you, but I mean,
Really?
it works. So I mean, yeah.
And sometimes mixing things up, you just want to have a different look over the ball, or what is it?
Yeah, I feel like that one's kind of like, I feel like the different putters I use have different strengths. I feel like my other putter that I have, the black one, I feel like it's a good visual. I feel like it's good for short putts, you know, making them. I feel like the spider is good for lag. If I have a long putt, it's like I'd never really have terrible distance control, so I feel like that's really key for this week and maybe weeks to come.
Well, I think of superstitions in general. Do you have any superstitious things in your bag at all, or in your preparation at all? Anything that you do that's superstitious?
The only thing I'm really superstitious about is I only use number ones for balls. Yeah.
And why is that?
I just feel like I've done that forever, actually, but I don't know what started it. I've just used it since I was like a little kid, and I won a bunch of tournaments as a little kid, so I feel like I've just always used ones.
Do you remember the first tournament you won with that kind of number one philosophy?
I think actually my first hole-in-one was with a number 1 ball.
And where was that at? Tell us the story.
I think it was at Monarch Dunes Golf Club, and I actually used a driver. I was like 8, and it was like 150, and I used a driver, and I made it. But I didn't know I made it because I was playing actually really bad. And
what was the reaction like from your playing partners and from yourself, too?
Like, my playing partners kind of, like, looked away, too, because they were like, she's playing terrible. And then my mom was, like, up by the green, and she was like, I think it went in, like, to us on the tee box. So we were only, like, 150 away, and we were like, that's cool. And then we went up, and it went in, so it was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Well, I think about it in general, like, what do you want to accomplish in the amateur game? Like, what's kind of your goals and your focus?
I feel like world number 1 is like everyone's goal here. I feel like especially with this field this week, I feel like number 1 is always the biggest goal, and I feel like if I could reach that by the end of my amateur career, that would be really cool, and maybe win just like a USGA, hopefully.
Is this a USGA event?
Yeah. Hopefully.
You mentioned your parents a couple times in this interview. I got to just ask you, like, what have they done to encourage you, or what kinds of things do they say that encourages you in what you're pursuing now?
Yeah, I feel like they're always really supportive. My dad goes with me to practice like every day. He's always helping me. He tries to like tell me what my coaches tell me to kind of help me prepare for like tournaments like this.
That's awesome. Well, it's great to always have a good connection and be able to continue that trust with people that matter to you. So really enjoy the time. Asterisk, thanks for it.
Thank you.